Hey, so my name is Madison Rosenberger, and I'm going to be synthesizing my learning as quickly as I can because I made mine really detailed. So synthesizing my learning between what I've learned with the integration of reading and writing. So obviously they go hand in hand, and in my opinion, the way I synthesized it is that you have to learn how to read before you can write. So I'm going to go over this portion first, and then we'll make our way this way. So reading's over here. Reading's basically the interpretation or the ability of someone to be able to interpret and comprehend a text or a context of writing. So really there's two different things that I had mainly branch off, and that would be the balanced literacy and the big five of reading. I'm going to start with the big five of reading because that's basically our basic characteristics that the reader must go through in order to be an efficient reader. So the big five of reading is basically integrating phonics, and I'm right here, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension. It's basically all of our strongest elements of reading integrated and put the most emphasis on when we're learning how to read. Okay? So starting with phonics, this is basically when the student learns their basic alphabetic systems. And then they go into the phonological awareness and the phonemic awareness. So the phonological awareness is going to be where the student's able to learn their onsets, syllables, and rhymes and that kind of thing. Now, phonemic awareness is going to be where the student is able to identify specific sounds of specific letters within words and syllables and that kind of thing. So moving on, once a student has gained that ability, they move into vocabulary and word study. So vocabulary and word study, this is where the student is going to be learning like their sight words and learning better vocabulary so they can better comprehend later on in the reading or text that they're reading. So from that word study, we move into comprehension. So we start comprehending once we know the words and we're recognizing the words, right? So we move into the comprehension, and the comprehension is where the student basically just understands the concepts of the writing or the text. They can interpret it and that kind of thing. So from comprehension, I linked it to fluency. So fluency, basically that means that the student's able to identify sounds, they're able to interpret sounds, they're able to read it, they're able to identify, they are a fluent reader. And that's where we want them at. So I connected, actually, let me go back over to the writing process. So, and then I'll show you how they all link together. So from the writing process, this is basically, it's several different phases that the student goes through in order to write an efficient writing piece. So the pieces that I had the student go through are pre-writing, drafting, revising, then proofreading / editing, then to publishing / sharing. Okay? So after the first thing the student will do, they'll do a pre-writing. So in the pre-writing, that's basically the first stage of writing, and that's where they can create like a brain web and that kind of thing to gather all their ideas together. So this is like getting all their ideas in one place. Okay, from the pre-writing, they begin to draft. It's where they start to put their ideas into sentences and words within paragraph form or however you're writing it. Okay. From drafting, they'll move into revising. So revising is whenever they're going to start looking at their grammatical aspects of their writing from what they've drafted. Now, this is a good place for the teacher in here to be able to critique them and give her advice to them on what they can do better and further allow them to succeed, because she's trying to see where they're at and how she can help them. So from revising, I had to move to proofreading and editing. So after we've revised, we'll read it, and then we'll check and see what else we can do better at. If there's anything else that we can change, something sounds weird, that kind of thing. So from the proofreading editing phase, they will move into the publishing/sharing stage. So that stage right there is where the student will they'll turn in their paper, they're ready to go, or they'll be able to interpret why they wrote this that way and that kind of thing, because they've gone through all of these stages and they know exactly why. Okay, I'm sorry my video is so long, but let's keep going. So how I connected the reading and the writing together. I connected the vocabulary/study word under the reading to the drafting. Because when the student's drafting, they're going to be using all of that vocabulary and sight words and that kind of thing that they've obtained in their drafting. Okay. From the reading, I also tied in comprehension to the pre-writing, because they have to comprehend whatever they're doing to be able to gather their ideas, because they obviously won't understand it unless they have comprehended it. So I also connected the phonological awareness into the guided reading, which is kind of the same area, but that's where the teacher is able to gauge where they're at phonologically and phonemically. So and that is pretty much it. There we go. So this is my my diagram. I will also put this on the discussion board as well, so it'll be a little bit easier for you to read. All right, thanks guys. Thank you for reviewing my video.